Okay, now we are live on YouTube. So, Bezrat Hashem. Shalom, shalom to everybody. Sorry for being late, but Bezrat Hashem, we will try to catch it up and to study really deep. Bezrat Hashem, before we start, let me just remind you that we are, sorry, we are moving forward to what will be next, meaning to Bishvat. We finished our Hanukkah. Shalom, shalom, Rabbi Yochanan, shalom, shalom. And in the closer we come from Adar, the more we also arrive closer to Pesach. So basically, we are working on different scenarios to have Pesach kosher in Africa. So different options will be given to you, will be sent to you. I think we will be able to communicate more precisely the next weeks. But just know that one of the first objective for us will be to spend Pesach together. So we have to prepare. That's why I'm talking about now. And Bezrat Hashem, it will be.
Rav, you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. He's not muted.
Yes,
Check
we
your
can
side.
hear you.
Okay, thank you. No problem. So Bezrat Hashem, we will be able to organize it. So be focused and follow up the different message we'll be sending very soon in our different groups. So shalom to everybody who are with me in the group, in the studio. Shalom to Rabbi Akashukwu, to Rabbi Eliyahu Media, to Rabbanit Catherine, to
Shalom, shalom,
Rabbanit
Rabbeinu.
Adassa. Shalom. I hope you're doing well, Rabbanit Chava. Amazing. I will talk to you after. Bezrat Hashem.
Shalom. Torah Chief
Shalom,
Rabbi.
shalom, Rabbeinu. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom also to Rabbi Israel. Shalom to Rabbi Benjamin Populo, to Chief Rabbi Ishai Moshe, to Chief Rabbi Kish, to Rabbanit Natalia.
Shalom,
to
Rabbeinu.
Shalom to
Shalom, Rabbeinu.
Rabbi Eden, to Rabbi Yochanan, and to Rabbanit Shalva. Shalom to all of you. And Bezrat Hashem, we're gonna start. We are basically, Baruch Hashem, we are finishing the last portion of the book of Bereshit today by studying Parashat Vayehi. We know that every time we finish something, even if there's a continuation, but when we finish one level or one dimension, all that step is coming with blessings and with also hope for us to continue to progress and to achieve new level and new level and new level. So basically, the limud of today is like the crown of all the topics we have opened in the book of Bereshit. So for the people who don't know exactly what we were able to do by working and doing all the teachings of the Ben Ish Chai once a week by using, let's say, specific purposes, specific topics, you will go on our YouTube channel. You will see the different topic we have opened regarding the Geulah, regarding the blessing of Abraham, regarding the demography, regarding what also the vows, regarding the culture of space. We basically opened many things. So today, with of today, we will talk about the crown, the topic which can be considered like the crown of all the work made on the specific books of Bereshit. In that crown, who is trying to record, please? Someone is trying to record. You don't need to record because it's on live. It will be on YouTube. So every time you try to record, it's coming to in front of my screen, like someone want to record. Please don't. You don't need. It will be on YouTube. So the purpose of the topic, no, it's not the purpose. The topic will be to understand how the different shades of what we call the prostitution, let's say, in the spiritual level, is like a fence, like a boundaries, like a borders, when it comes about connecting the Bantu Israelite and Yosef. Many things will be seen or said. The purpose for us today is to take a conclusion, a very deep conclusion on the book of Bereshit. So at the same time, I will ask you to take time and to see all the different topics that have been dig every single Wednesday evening and try to connect all of them together and to put the topic of tonight like the crown. We'll try to dig, to open some specificities, and like usual, feel free to question and to interrupt at any moment. So we are in the book of the Ben Ishai, Parashat Vayehi, second year. And we will be on the introduction. Let me know when you see my screen.
We see it, Chief Rabbi.
תודה רבה. תודה רבה. So let's go. What's happened is like this. The Ben Ishai will, to talk about this topic of prostitution, will use one very specific pasuk in the book of Bereshit, in the Parashat Vayehi. It's in Bereshit 49:22. It says like this: Ben Porat Yosef, Ben Porat Alai Ain. So what the connection with prostitution? We're going to build slowly, but let's try to see the signification, the translation of this pasuk. It's here. See like this. Yosef is a fruitful wine. A fruitful wine by a fountain. Its branch run over the wall. But Ben Ishai will only use one part of his verse. He will use this one. Meaning, Yosef is a fruitful wine by a fountain. Okay. The truth is, when you translate word by words, the translation is bad. It's not what the text is saying. Okay, the first part. Yosef is a fruitful wine. No. No. It's a Ben Porat Yosef. So Yosef is a fruitful, let's say, son. Son. Ben. You follow? It's okay?
Yes.
It's
Yes,
okay, Rabbi. It's okay, Rabbi.
תודה. So, and after it said, Ben Porat, Ale Ain. It's not talking about a fountain. So Ben Porat, let's say a fruitful son, Ale Ain, went over the eyes. That is the Ain. You ever translate fountain? If I translate according to what we use in the daily basis Hebrew, it's Ale Ain, over the eyes. So what is that? Let's go back to Ben Ishai. Ishai say like this. נראה לי בסייעתא דשמיא, it seems to be, according to me, בעזרת השם, הנה, בסור מרע של הזנות. It's a very strange concept. You see, look, when we talk about the behavior of a Ben Israel or a Bat Israel in his daily life, the purpose is sur mera, meaning go far away from transgression, va'asetov, and do good things. It's an expression. Sur mera, va'asetov. So I said, in every type of mitzvot, in every type of halachot, in every type of, I don't know, even forbidden situation, you have the dimension of sur mera, run away from the sin, va'asetov, and do the righteous and the good thing. I said, now when we talk about znut, what is znut? It's prostitution. Znut is the basic translation. You see, when we want to see in this term, in this area of znut, prostitution, and we want to know what is the part of znut connected to sur mera, meaning when we talk about prostitution, what are the topics when I want to see inside of that subject what is connected to run away from sin? He said, when you go over that analyze, יש שלושה מיני תגבורת לאדם על היצר הרע. He said, you will see that a man possesses three types of strength when he's opposite, when he's against the יצר הרע. Get the bad side of his heart or against the weak side. Three strengths. When you are a man, you have three strengths that can be used anytime you are facing the bad side of your soul, let's say. האחד במעשה. The first one in the actions. שמונע את עצמו מעשות רע. How? When you prevent yourself from doing bad thing. השני במראה עיניים. The second one is about what you look at. כי יש גובר על יצר הרע לבלתי לעשות מעשה רע, אך אינו יכול להתגבר במראת עיניו. לבלתי יסתכל באישה. He said, let's go. It's very simple. He said, you have people who can be enough strong not to fall in the action. What is the action? To really go through the transgression connected to sexuality. He will not do, he will not move. No action will be made. They say, but this person will not be enough strong to keep his eyes far away of not looking at a woman. Are you following? It's okay?
Yes,
Yes,
Rabbi.
Rav.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, Rabbi.
תודה רבה. And after, you see like this, he said, that's why we talk about strength in the level of the eyes, meaning not only you are enough strong to avoid any trap connected to the actions, but also you even are enough strong to not turn your face or your eyes or to give an eye when it's connected to the woman aspect. After I say like this, ולכן תגבורת זו שמתגבר גם בעיניו, שעוצם עיניו מערות ברע, היא יותר גדולה מתגבורת שמתגבר במעשה. So I say, no, based on that, we have to understand that we have levels to be able to avoid to look at something connected to the woman. It's bring you to be considered like much more higher than someone who's just avoiding to transgress in the level of actions. For someone who don't fall in the actions, who doesn't fall in their actions, and also is able to keep his eyes far away from looking at anything bad, this man is higher. And after said, והשלישי, and the third one, גדולה מכולם, meaning higher than the others. הוא, אם מתגבר גם במחשבה שבמוחו לבלתי יחשוב מחשבה רעה של ניוף. He said, it's when you are enough strong, enough powerful to handle your thoughts. And even in your thoughts, you don't bring any bad image, any bad desire, any bad thought that can be connected to what we call youth. It's like, thinking about all this sexual image, sexual desire, sexual projection. You don't think about it. You even don't see any type of adultery. You are on that level. So we have 3 levels where you will be tested according in front of you, etc. It's not enough to say, oh, like people say in the Pshat, no action, no sins. Yes, כל הכבוד. But in the Ben Israel, say, no, it's not like this. We are in another level. We have to know that action, it's 1/3, but also eyes and thought. And all these level, things will be noticed. You will be tested. And you should avoid znut, which is prostitution, at these 3 levels. So my first question, what do you think about what we call the Bantu Israelite? I want to hear your thought. What do you think about what we call the Bantu Israelite and the topic of znut, which means prostitution? Before we go deeper, I want to hear you a bit. What are your thoughts? Or what are the things you know that is regularly said about the Bantu Israelites, no matter where they are, from Africa to Americas? What do you think about that? What are your thoughts? I want to wake you a bit because we will go deeper and higher. I want you to be ready.
Well, Chief Rabbi, we know that throughout history, the Bantu Israelites or the Africans, the African Americans, those in the diaspora have been stereotyped as over-sexualized. The people of the world have this image of the collective of what they call Black people, whether on the African continent or in the diaspora, as these sexual beasts without control. The Black man is always perceived as a rapist or insatiable, lustful. The Black woman is hypersexualized. We know even with the idea of Saartjie Baartman or the Hottentot Venus, the body of the Black woman is sexualized. We know what happened on the plantations, the rape of the Black men and women and children, and the depraved sexual acts that our people were subjected to. And the even with the lynchings, it was always the excuse of the rape of the white woman or looking at the white woman with lust or trying to attack the pure white woman and saving her sexuality while the slave masters were always raping the Black women and men and even the slave mistresses, the women. A lot of people don't talk about that side of it. The accounts of the women, the slave mistresses who were violating the Black men and the Black women to be their sexual slaves. So we know that this is a prevalent image that unfortunately remains with us throughout the world. Sexual crimes are always assumed to be committed by Black people first. Even with the one thing I find most disturbing too about even with the Diddy situation, we know that these white men, these European elites, these elites even in Dubai, all around the world, they have done these things and far worse. But unfortunately now that the whole world will place the Black face of Diddy or even R. Kelly on these acts when the white men who have done this even more heinously, they don't even think of them. That image doesn't come in their mind. But unfortunately, now we have the Black men who now they are the face of these evil crimes. And whether they did it or not is not the issue. It's the fact that they were really the middlemen. They don't want to talk about the fact that they were used as pawns to provide victims for the white men, for the Europeans, for the men in Dubai. But, they won't show their faces, but they'll let the world think that these Black men are the monsters. And that's what's most disturbing to me.
תודה רבה. You really go straight right to the point. תודה רבה. Is there other analyses? Someone want to say something?
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, Vayehi.
I fully agree with what the sister just said, and but I want to add that we haven't helped ourselves in the past years. We've enjoyed this role of being basically womanizers. Like this is what we've become. Black people have been, it's cool to be a womanizer in our community, and it's sad. It's sad. Like through many people blame it through rap or whatever, but as we can see, even in the Congolese society, we used to be like righteous singers, and now we've just, we're all about, our dances have changed, and it's sad. It's sad to see, and that's all I wanted to say. I just want to do that.
תודה רבה, Rabbi Yochanan. תודה רבה. I get it. We're gonna dig. Is there other opinion, words, analyses?
Rabbeinu, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, Rabbi Victor Israel. Shalom.
From what I see, they have spoken so well that these people, they have pushed us into so much sexuality. They know that the level of sexuality they have of prostitution that they have put into our memory is high. That everything about what they do is sexuality. I was discussing with my brother-in-law last week. I told him that why is it that when people release music, most especially our Nigerian artists, our Igbo artists, everything they sing about is women. everything they sing in their song is women. If you sing anything that is not women now, it will not sell. If they buy dresses that don't show that don't expose part of the body, does not sell. They are just sexually attractive dresses, and they know that those things, like even pornography, they push pornography down to Africa. They give us facilities that will make us to be able to see those movies, get those movies. We pay to get them. We see it on the street. The youths enjoy it. Is the talk of the town. The women, everybody's, it has eaten so much in our brain. So they see that we have lapses there. And that the highest problem, the highest challenge we have down here is the problem of sexuality. And they continue to push their materials, in as much as in this place now. Anything that you organize, if you want to organize a show for people to attend, you have to make gate fee for women free. The gate fee for women will be free, and you must make it in such a way that women will be able to attend. If you don't involve women, if you don't involve something that have to do with sexuality, it will not work. You will not see anybody. So that's my own part of the Rabbeinu. That's my own part, Rabbeinu.
You brought another topic. You actually bring the dimension that we are on the level where we put this sexuality, we organize it, we even use it as commerce. Okay. Someone add something? Now let's start the study. The first thing that you have to know is like this. The term that the Ben Ish Chai use when he's starting is zonot. Zonot means prostitute, prostitution. It's not a term you will find in the Torah, Chumash. You'll find it in the Tanakh, from Bereshit till the prophets, Malachi. But in the Chumash, you don't have the word zonot, or maybe zona. Maybe let me try to see zona, if zona can be. Yes, maybe, yeah. It's written that you should not have any zona. Yeah, we have zona. Yes, we have it. Only one term. So we have two things. The first one is that generally when it's come about zonot, we see that the Torah is addressing his words to the men about the way we will look at women. So what again? So the thing is to know that what are, first of all, the thing that we are not allowed to say or to connect with when we talk about the topic of snoot. Snoot is the same word like zonot. So what are the topic? The topic are connected to nakedness, erva. That's why he said, what is prostitution? It's not what you think by saying, okay, it's when a man, Chaz Shalom, goes and try to find someone who's gonna accept money in exchange of a sexual relationship. No, it's not the definition of the Torah. The definition of the Torah is to say all the dimension of znut, it's connected to all the forbiddenness you receive regarding nakedness. What is nakedness? It's erva. So when we want to know what are the topics which are forbidden regarding znut, meaning to reveal the nakedness, to reveal the erva, we have to go in Parashat Acharimot. Let's read it. Yes, Rabbi Teresa.
As you're bringing up the term for Zniut, I'm thinking again of the history in slavery, where I know in many African countries and cultures too, just to be naked, especially for a woman to be naked, is a curse. I know in Liberia, especially, if a woman takes off her clothes, it is as if she is putting a curse on the people. Um, and in Yoruba, they have a saying, you should not look under the skirt of your mother. And I just think, especially the idea of privacy and dignity, they dehumanized us so much. They made animals of us to where we didn't have a right over our body, our privacy, our modesty. And even with the slave auctions, where they would strip us and just it was just so deplorable, so abominable to just put us on display like animals, to literally spread open our legs, our behinds, our mouths, to just show every part of our body, even on the auction block. Just that type of dehumanization is something that has stuck with us and imprinted us as a people. So we didn't even have a right to our modesty. That is an inherent part of our soul, our nature.
Mhm. Yes, it's exactly that. And we're going to try to understand it and to see what is behind, what's happened behind all these topics that we are bringing up. So here's the Torah that we know about nakedness, not to reveal, not to see nakedness. How did I jump from one term to another term? It's very simple. Look with me. It's here. You see the way the Ben Ish Chai is bringing his topic? He said, look, it's said, let's see how to practice the running away from sin in the topic of znut. You see, like me, we are talking about znut, prostitution. But after, he's talking about the fact of looking at the woman. Okay, you don't do any action, but in the topic of znut, prostitution, mainly it's looking and also thinking. So when we are looking or thinking in the action, it's obvious. We know that znut is connected to erva, to nakedness. Now look, something very strange based on what Rabbi Yochanan have said, Rabbi Tadas have said, and Rabbi Israel have said. Look from where we get the information regarding erva. He said, and the Lord spoke into Moshe and saying, speak unto the children of Israel and say to them, I'm the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwell, shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, never shall ye walk in their statute. So, with all the respect I have for you, Egypt, Mitzrayim, Canaan, who are them?
They're the sons of Ham.
The Rabbah. So your Torah is telling you that all the lotase, all the forbidden situation regarding nakedness, from where did we receive the thought and, and did we understood all the things? From Egypt and from Canaan. The son of Ham. You get it, Rabbanim? You
Yes,
get it?
Rabbi. Yes,
So,
Rabbi. Yes,
meaning,
Rabbi.
what said Rabbanit Hadassah, for example, that the black men have been sexualized in a way or another. So for the woman, so your Torah is saying the same thing. You say, look, all the bad things, from who did we learn it? From the Mitzrim and the Canaanim. Let's go deeper. Say, mine ordinances shall ye not do, and my statute shall ye keep, to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. After we start, ye shall therefore keep my statute and mine ordinances, which if a man do, he shall live by them. I am the Lord. Should live. Okay. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him, to uncover his nakedness. I am the Lord. Oh, this is one aspect of the znut. It means that what said Rabbanit Hadassah shouldn't reveal. It's written in the Torah. It's not the Rabbanim who said that. It's written in the Torah. Don't reveal. What does it mean? How should we understand? We have in Africa, let's say, many tribes. What is nakedness? When you see the back, what does it mean? But let's keep it open. Let's say the nakedness of thy father and the nakedness of thy mother shall thou not uncover. She is thy mother, so shall not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of thy father, wife, shall thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or the daughter of thy mother, whether born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shall not uncover. You see, every time you have to cover or to uncover the nakedness. Based on what the Ben Ish Chai said, it's also in the way you look and the way you thought. Meaning, at the level of Ben Ish Chai, when you are seeing a woman passing and you turn your eyes in order to see something, we call that at the level of the Mekubalim, and after we will bring all details, but we start slowly, we call that to uncover that nakedness. And say, look, this should not be done. The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter, the garden, on thy father, she is thy sister. Who shall not uncover her nakedness? Who shall not uncover the nakedness of thy father, sisters? She is thy father's near kinswoman. Who shall not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister? For she is the mother's nearest kinswoman. Who shall not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother? Who shall not approach to his wife? She is thin aunt. Who shall not uncover the nakedness of daughter-in-law, of thy daughter-in-law? She is thy son's wife. Who shall not uncover her nakedness? Who shall not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife? It is thy brother's nakedness. Who shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, meaning at the same time? Who shall not take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover the nakedness? They are near as woman. It is lewdness. And who shall not take a woman to her sister to be a reader to her, to uncover her nakedness, beside the other of her lifetime? And who shall not approach into woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is impure by her uncleanness. Who shall not lie carnally with neighbor's wife, to defile thyself with her? Thou shalt not give any of thy seeds to set them apart to Moloch, meaning to sacrifice chas v'shalom a son. It's called to uncover nakedness. I will explain. I go slowly. Never shall fool profane the name of the God. I'm the Lord. Same thing. Who shall not lie with mankind as with womankind? It is abomination. Ah. Who shall not lie with any beast to defile thyself? Therewith never shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. This is perversion. Defile not ye yourself in any of these things, for in all these nations are defiled which I cast out from before you. This is what we call snoot. All these topics, this is what we call snoot. When you, chas v'shalom, you do, but also when you see or imagine, and even when you think. You have no choice. You are Bantu Israelites, right? So what's happened with you? You know you are connected to Yosef. You know that Yosef is the archetype of what we call the 10 tribe, even if we are 12 inside. You know, so see what's happened. I'm gonna dig. It's like this. See. He said, He Yesh gover b'ma'ara enav. You have people who are strong with the eyes. They walk like this in the street. They don't turn right or left. They don't look anything. You can go sometime in Jerusalem, you will see people are like this. They even they're bending like this in order to avoid any eye contact. Aval, אינו יכול להתגבר עם המחשבה. I say, yeah, you're good, but you are weak when it comes about handling your thoughts. וזה היה שבחו של יוסף הצדיק עליו השלום. He said, look, what is the character of Yosef Atzadik? What is the thing that made the difference between Yosef, that's the truth, and the others? It's because in the thought, nothing. The eyes, nothing. Action, sure, nothing. This is where Yosef acquired the level of his destiny. So we being the archetype of the 10 tribes in the level of Am Ben Israel, we know that here, this is the key. The way we behave with women in the dimension of znut. Not in the way you treat her with respect, not in the way you give money. No, 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 no. We talk about the way you think about the wife of your brother, about all the things we have listed. These are the area, the definition of znut. And this is exactly why Yosef was strong. And because of that, this made him who he is. שגבר על היצר הרע בדבר זה של ניאוף, because he was stronger than the יצר הרע on the topic of lust, on the topic of adultery. עם אשת פוטיפר, with the wife of his master. That was the test. The test of Yosef in order to become Mashiach, Ben Yosef, to become Mashiach, was not the fact of being jailed, was not the fact of being able to make interpretation of dreams, was not the fact of being someone wise, good looking. No, 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 no. All the moment, all the situation, the only situation where Yosef show the difference between him and the other brothers, it's on this topic. So my question, based on that, who is higher, Yehuda or Yosef? The 10 tribes or the 2 tribes? Who is higher?
Yosef is higher than Yehuda.
How do you know, Rabbeinu?
Because of the test he went through to become, he become a Zadik. Because, and looking at Yosef, Yosef was in a strange land only by himself. His father is not there, no companion, no Havruta for Torah study. Yet, when the stiff temptation came for him, he was able to withstand it. And but if you check the other side, Yehuda, when he was there, temptation came to him, he didn't withstand it, and the issue of Tamar and so on and so forth. But on the other side, Yehuda, Joseph conquered his own, and why he was in a strange land, alone, secluded.
Thank you very much. This is the point. People can tell you, no, it's strange. Look, you have been Yosef, you have been Ben David. Beside the definition we know, people will tell, no, it's Yehuda, the Torah of Yehuda. No. Thanks to the Ben Ish Chai, we know that the difference is made on the fact of the way, the way you connect or not to prostitution. Yehuda was passing, he saw a prostitute, and he went. He went. Yosef was in the house and resisted. So what is the leadership, where the leadership of the 12 tribes was decided on the topic of prostitution? It's not a small topic. This is the topic. So we have to understand that we who have the heritage of Bnei Yosef, the 10 tribes, this is where we will be tested. This is where things will happen. This is where the leadership will be given. But we have a problem. People say that these things have been learned from the sons of Ham, the Canaanim, Mitzrayim. So what does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean that we were the ones who brought this, while we saw that Yehuda did it without knowing us? You say, no, it was in Canaan. Oh, okay. Trap. Let's read a bit. I'm building slowly, slowly. I have to look at what the Ben Ish Chai will say. You say like this. He said, Eshet Potiphar, גם במחשבה שלו. He said, even in his thoughts, he didn't come close to even imagine 1 second being in bed with her. Never. Never. This is the point. And he said, ולכן אמרו רבותינו ז"ל. He said, that's why the sage have said about Yosef. יוסף משלו נתנו לו, מחשבה שלו חשבה בעבירה, תקרא חוכמה. ויקראו לפניו אברך, בראשית 41, 43. אב בחוכמה. וכן פרעה אמר לו, אין נבון וחכם כמוך. He said, look, the sage have said, how come that Joseph succeeded to be at that level? How did he do? He said, it's simple. Because he succeeded to bring the level of wisdom so deep that it was even through the level of wisdom that he was using his eyes. He was bringing his body to behave. And he said, he is called the Father in the wisdom. And say, look, even Paro called him, no one is intelligent, Navon, understand like you, and no one is Chacham like you. So I don't understand. When you ask to people, who is the wiser of wiser, what will be the answer? What will be the answer? If you are to someone, who is the wiser?
Shlomo?
Araba? People say Shlomo. So how come people say Shlomo is the wiser? Why we have a text, mercy. Why we have a text that the wiser, the father of wisdom, the father in wisdom is called Yosef. And when you talk about Shlomo, he was sleeping with the daughter of Paro the day of the inauguration of the temple. So what happened here? What's happened here? If you understand what I'm asking, we say that only wisdom can give you leadership. What is that leadership? It's when you are able to stay away from what we call prostitution, meaning not to reveal nakedness. The one who perform it and succeed to do it, Yosef. Compared to the two branches, Yosef and Yehuda, we see that on the same situation, one fall and one stood. Who is the one who stood? Yosef. Okay. After the sage, they said, look, in Bereshit Chava, Yosef, no one is like him. Why? Because he succeeded to achieve a level of handling bad thoughts when it comes about prostitution. Say, okay, no problem. Why? And how is it possible? Say, because he is the father in the wisdom. At the same time, you see, Shlomo said, no, he is the one who has ever been wiser than ever. So what's happened here? And at the same time, we said all the bad behavior regarding prostitution, it's all about Knaanim Mitzrim. What's happened? Let's be add a few things. Belazé Amar, c'est based on that, Ben Porat Yosef. That's why we say that Yosef is a fruitful son. Meaning, you cannot be fruitful if you don't handle the three levels in handling nakedness, handling the exposure to nakedness. Ben Porat Yosef. So he's a son, a fruitful son. Why? Because the Ben Porat is connected to the actions. After the Ben Porat, the fruitful son is repeated a second time. C'est Ben Porat. The second Ben Porat, Gam Alay Ain, it's talking about the thought. Gam B'machshava, She'i B'moach She'u Lemala Mina Ain. So why? Because the thought is in the brain, which is higher than the eyes. So the first Ben Porat, it's action. The second Ben Porat, it's connecting eyes and brain. שהיא במוח שהוא למעלה מן העין, שנתקדש גם בקדושת המחשבה, because he became very powerful, very holy in the holiness of the thought. שתגבורת שלו הוא למעלה בתגבורת העין. Why? Because the strength of Yosef, the identity of Yosef is at the level of thoughts. So now my question is, how do we connect all these things? What's happened to the fact that we learn the mistakes regarding nakedness come from the son of Ham? So how do we connect this? Why is it Joseph who will go to Egypt and circumcise all these people? Yes, Chief Rabbi Moshe.
Shalom, shalom. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking about the seeing nakedness of Noah that have been connected to Ham, and also you say it's Canaan, but it's Ham. So maybe it was that tikkun that the descendant will have to fix. I don't know.
You are saying something. We are going somewhere. So there's a tikkun. Chief Rabbi Moshe, so maybe there's a tikkun because we talk about Ham, and this is his sons who basically, let's say, brought all the dimension of nakedness, of prostitution, not say to the world, but to that land. So how do we connect all this? What is the secret behind that says of Ben Ishchai? What should we understand? What the connection between Yosef, between Ham, between and the wisdom and all these things? Any idea? Any way? Any option? Any analysis? Before I go and we start to study deeply. No idea? No one wants to try?
Maybe just to add was because as the text said in the Torah, Ham or Canaan revealed the nakedness of his father, and the first of forbiddness that is quoted in this parashat of all the nakedness, it's connected to the father. So we know also that father it's Abba, it's the Chokhmah. That at the time Noah was drunk, so in order to save the neshama that Noah wanted to bring, one of the brother had to sacrifice himself in order to save all that neshama, but also his all the whole generations. So maybe this is maybe why we will find those actions in Canaan and also in Mitzrayim, and all the tikkun will be there.
So you get it. Let me now put all this together. I give you the secret. The limud is not long, as you can see. You see the Ben Ishchai is almost going to the conclusion. You can see it here. You can see we are here. Yes. Second. We are here. 7 line. So the topic is nice, but what should we understand? So look, it's like this. I start slowly. How many kids of Ham have been quoted? In the text I read in the Torah about nakedness.
3.
3. Let's go back in the text. Let's go back in the text. It's the only answer, right? Everybody say 3, right? You agree?
we talked about Mitzrayim and Canaan. I didn't remember Put or Cush.
So what's happened?
So the nakedness is connected to those those branch of Ham. Cush is not inside, and Put, we know that
Put has no people. As put, let's just say that Put didn't give people. But look what he said here. You see? Look here. After the doings of the land of Egypt, Mitzrayim, and also the doings of the land of Canaan. Do you see Cush? Do you see Cush?
No, Rabbeinu.
So what does it mean?
No, Rabbeinu.
This is the key. This is the key. The key about the way for us to achieve the level of Yosef. This can only be made through the strength of Cush, because in their bones, in their roots, in their souls, Mitzrayim and Canaan, they have a problem. So when we talk about the Kushi, when the chief rabbinate of Africa said that we are the sage of Cush, and this is the code of the place where Moshe arrived and stood as the king, you have to know that the characteristic of Cush is that this is that characteristic that give to the sons of Ham the possibility of being the saviors, Meshichim. Why? Because the game is played at the level of the thought and the level of the eyes when it comes about nakedness. How do we know that from the level of Cush, nakedness, it's like in the blood? Look at the story of Moshe. Let's see it. Let's see that story that you all know. Second, I just want to keep a picture of one page before I lose the page. Look at the picture. Look at the text. I'll share my screen in just a second. Remember the Isha Kushit?
Yes.
Okay, now look. Let me find the place. Okay, we got it. You see?
Yes, Rabbeinu.
Look what's
Yes,
happening with
Rabbeinu.
Moshe. Tודה רבה. You see like this. כבר כתבנו בתמנה. We talk about Timna, who was supposed to marry Yaakov, but Yaakov refused, and Timna will become the mother of Amalek. So we talk about Timna. Say Timna is 2 times Mansapa. Okay, I jump. כנזכר שם, והיא סוד 10 גבורות. So Timna, she is the 10 גבורות. וכל מה שיראה ליעקב, יראה ליוסף. So you have to know that everything which is connected to Yaakov is also connected to Yosef. על כן תמנע בא ליד יעקב ולא לקח. So you see, Timna came close to Yaakov, but Yaakov refused to marry her. ויוסף, and Yosef בא לידו אשת פוטיפרה. Yosef came, who came next to him? The wife of Potiphar. ויפוזעו זרועו ידיו. And he said he resisted so much not to fall in that sin that he lost seeds from the nails. You see the craziness? I was fighting with his thoughts to say, no, I don't want. And this thing goes out from the ends. It's a code, of course. ולזה יעקב נכנס גופו בעצמותו. That's why Yaakov, he can enter body and bones. But Joseph, because you lost that thing here, you will only be useful in the level of bones. But I jump. But look now. But Moshe Rabbeinu came near to him Malchut Kush, She'i Eshet Kushit. Moshe was faced the Kushite woman, the queen, the widow queen. And you have to know that when you see Timnah, Potiphar, Eshet Potiphar, and the wife of Cush, the woman of Cush, you have to know that the code said that the beauty of this free person was amazing. And he said, look, Afal Pishelo Baelea. He said, look, Moshe stood married to her and didn't reveal her nakedness. What is that code? Even though he didn't have any connection, physical connection with her, lakacha b'kiddushin, but he married her. Dainu ki kushit lakach, because we know that it took a Kushite woman. We understand here that, okay, what Moshe did is great. But from where did that queen have that culture of you being a woman staying here 40 years without any relationship and it's okay? 40 years as a wife of someone and not seeing your, sorry for the term, your nakedness being revealed, you are okay. And it's your husband. While Miriam, who is from, not Miriam, Zipporah, who is from Midian, when Moshe decided to stop revealing that nakedness, let's say, not in the way of transgression, or in the way of relationship between husband and wife, she started to complain that this man is no more from your husband. So from where, Queen of Cush, from where do you get that strength to be able to stay far away from your husband 40 years? Because this is inside of the Cushite. This is the level that brings up the dimension of Ham. This is what we say every time. I understand that Shem is not a tribe. Shem is not a lineage. Shem is the leadership, the spiritual leadership given or the Yafet or to Ham when they have the possibility to lead. So Moshe, through his experience, help us to understand a very specific culture about the Cushite. They have no problem fighting and being even in the opposite when it comes about being compared to their own brothers and siblings, Canaan and Mitzrayim. So all the people who say, from the black people, we learn, Chaz v'shalom, God forbid, we learn lust and sexual, strange sexual behaviors, that same people, they should also know today that we are the one who have also the level of giving to you the dimension of yourself. About what? About the fact that we learn something about us regarding the distance with nakedness, even when it's permitted. Wait, it's not enough. See something now. See something very particular now. Let me find that page. And you will understand something.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, Chief Rabbi.
I have one question. Okay. Is it possible if it's the kush, it's also a kind of, let's say, a level of ruchani spirituality? Because when, for example, David Ameler, he say, ki kush ani, he attained that dimension. So it's like, maybe, yeah.
This is the point. This is the point. You get it. Kush is the level of the one who is able to create the strength of the Yetzirah at the level of eyes and brain. If you are, let's say, a real black, you call yourself a Kushi. If you're a real black, meaning with all the nobility of the soul, you should be calling yourself a Kushite. We will see in a few seconds. See, Shalom Shalom Emmanuel.
Shalom, shalom.
It's here. Okay, I think I got it. 1 second. Okay. In the book of Kings, the first one, Malachim Aleph. In this pasuk, when David Ameler said, ויאמר המלך להם, קחו עמכם את עבדי אדוניכם, והרחבתם את שלמה בני אל הפרדה, אשר לי, והורדתם אותו אל גיחון. We are talking about Bnei Yehuda, the kings from the lineage of Yehuda. This is the moment when David decided to stop the strategy of Adoniyahu, who wanted to be king after him. And basically, he decided to take some high authority of the kingdom and to proclaim that he is the new king. And Bathsheba went to David, said, you promised me that my son will be reigning after you. So how come Adoniyahu is now the king? So David is reacting. And he said to them, to his workers, you have Benayahu, you have Nathan the prophet, and he said, you will take Shlomo, you will put him on a donkey, you will bring him down, where? To the Gihon. So where, according to your knowledge, where the situation is happening? It's in Jerusalem, right? Rabbanim, are you here?
Yes, Rabbeinu.
Good. It's in Jerusalem.
I need reaction because I have no cameras, I'm alone. So when we study at that level, we need interaction. Please help me out. So it's like this. He said, bring him to the Gihon. So we're in Jerusalem. Look what the Arikadosh said. Da, you have to know. Ki al yede ze, based on that, she'amar ve'oradetem oto el hagihon kumo shenifchash. He said, what are the secret basically behind the words of David when he said, you will take Shlomo and bring him down to the Gihon? He said, al yedeze malar Shlomo Ameler al Elyonim al Tartonim. It's based on what is said here. Thanks to that, Shlomo the king will be the king on the upper dimension, the upper beings, and the lower one. Why? Just because he is brought to the Gichon. You follow?
Yes, Rabbi.
Yes, Rabbeinu.
And he said, Vayeshev al kisei malchut be'alma tata'a. Ve'aita'a alivana be'melua. And he said, look, by doing this action, Shlomo will be able to sit in this lower dimension on the throne. And also the moon will be full. Full moon. What a connection. Umisham techilat alma de piruda. And say, and from that place, meaning under him, will be starting the word of division. Meaning, the upper word is the word of unity. But to be able to be master here and there, you want to be king in the unity dimension, and you want to be king in the lower dimension, where you have 70 nations, and so on. Say, look, you need to go to the place called Gichon. And he said, Vezeu vayechav oto al pardas. This is the secret why he was put on a donkey, a female donkey. Parda. It's peruda. Mean from that level, you will be able to dominate and this word and the word of division. See. V'mashal v'kol ruchin v'lilin v'shedim. He said example, meaning you will be also the king of all the beings, all the demons, and all the entities. This, just to make a bracket, you have to know that when you become a tribal chief in Africa, or where you become a king, or when you become a president, people have to be sure that your level of presidency is also accepted in the invisible world. We get it from here. I know a story from the president of the country. I want to quote the country. He's still president, so that's why I'll be silent. And he started to be president for many years. And at the beginning, it was like challenging a bit. And he had a good friend helping him to do all the stuff at the beginning. And one day, he received a very high master. And it was, I think, the day of the Independence Day or something like that. And when people were working, and basically when it's the Independence Day, you are passing in front of the president, you are from the army, you have to show some respect. These sages who came on that day, because he was invited by the king, by the president, after he said to him, look, I have a problem to tell you. He said, what? He said, you see, during the parade, when people were walking, you were seeing that the soldier give to you respect. Say yes. He said, I was seeing the demons, the beings, the entities. He said, yes. He said, they were giving respect to your friend, not to you. Oh. He said, meaning you don't have the spiritual power. From where do we get that? From that text. He said you have to know that when you are a king, you have to be a king in the visible and in the invisible world. But look, what the connection? You say, why Rabbi Pinchas is bringing to us to that thing? Look, he said, Venismach begichon, and he was anointed in the gichon. Besod kol ha'oler al gichon. Gichon. It's a gichon in the secret of everyone, every type of beings, every type of animal that walk on his belly. What is that? Ki u sovev kol eretz kush. C'est because the Gihon is surrounding all the land of Cush. What? I thought we were in Jerusalem. Why talk about the land of Cush? What the thing? We were in Jerusalem. David Amelech, he said, go. And will come someone telling you, no, no, no. We do have a Gihon in Jerusalem. And I got to say, no, no, no. They brought him down in order to go to the Gihon connected to the land of Cush. Are you following, even if it's odd a bit? Are you following?
Yes, Rabbeinu. Yes, Rabbeinu. But
Yes,
how is
Rabbi.
the Giron surrounding the land of Cush?
Okay. So my question, do you think that this Gihon was in Jerusalem or it was in the land of Cush?
I think it should be in Eretz Israel.
It's in the land of Cush.
Oh, toda
I think
rabba.
it's in the land of Cush.
In the land of Cush, Rabbeinu, because Genesis said it, Bereshit is in the book of Bereshit.
Ken, there's no Gion in Jerusalem.
Toda rabba, toda rabba. I like the machloktot.
So is it possible that Jerusalem is in as Cush?
So look, before I continue this text, we have to answer to make it clear for Rabbi or for our rabbi. Look what's happened. Mishnah. Mishnah says like this. The sage taught, the king Hezekiah performed 6 actions. With regard to 3 of them, the sage of the generation conceded to him. And with regard of 3 of them, the sage did not concede to him. Due to King Hezekiah's father's weakness, he dragged the bones of his father, Achaz, on a bier of rope and did not afford him the respect due to a king. And the sage conceded to him. He ground the copper snake that Moshe fashioned in the desert because Israel worshipped it, and the sage conceded to him. He suppressed the book of cure, and they conceded to him. And with regards to 3 actions, the sage did not concede to him. He cut off the doors of the sanctuary and sent them to the king of Assyria. And they did not concede to him because they thereby demanded the temple. He sealed the water of the upper Gihon stream, diverting its water into the city by means of tunnels, and they did not concede to him because he armed the local populace, and in the process, and should have relied upon God. He intercalated the year, delaying the advent of month of Nisan during Nisan, and they did not concede to him. So now look, commentary. Like it's that's what? Look, Tosfot, the sons of Rashi. So we are in a very clear. What does it mean that he closed, he sealed the water of the Gihon? In the text, it's not said upper Gihon. It's just said Gihon, like you can see here. Satan me Gihon, upper one, Elion. So look, it said, Divrei Ayamim. כתיב, והוא השקיע Satan את מוצאי מימי גיחון עליון. So he sealed the upper גיחון. ולאלה מנעי כתיב, והסתמו את כל מעיינות. After he closed all the sources, all the wells. ולמה יבואו מלכי אשור ומצאו מים רבים? Because he didn't want that the king of Assyria will come and will find waters. And look what say Tosfot. Gihon de'aka, and this Gihon that we talk about here, Lav eno Gihon de Parashat Bereshit. It's not the Gihon of Bereshit. U sovev et kol Eretz Kush. So because the Gihon of Bereshit is surrounding all the land of Kush. Ela, but Mayan, Ayab Yerushalayim, it's a small well, the Mayan, it's a small source of water that was in Jerusalem, that was named like this. וכתיב תחילה בספר המלכים והעברתם שלמה, and it's written in the book of Melachim that you will bring Shlomo. הורדתם אותו אל גיחון. Masertem oto shama, and he said, you will bring Shlomo to the Gihon, and you will anoint him there. So what is saying Tosfot? What is Tosfot saying? He said, look, he said, the Gihon that you see in Jerusalem, it has been named after the authentic Gihon. So now the question is, where did they brought Shlomo? In Jerusalem or in Cush? My question, what do you say?
Shalom, shalom, Rabbeinu.
Shalom, shalom, Rabbeinu Shemidya.
Yeah, in the text, it was written that he should be brought down to bring him down. That means, if you look at the geographical map, bringing down means coming down to the land of Cush. That's my own idea.
This is the point. We know that they brought him in the Gihon, the authentic one, not a spring or a source that was named in Jerusalem after that. How do I know? Very simple. See our text. It said, David Amelech said to Benaiah ben Yoada and to the prophet Nathan, bring him to the Gihon, which is where? In the land of Cush. Why? We don't know. But see what's happened after. He said they brought him, the land of Cush. And what's happened after? Velaze tirav chokhmat Shlomo bechokhmat kol bnei Kedem. And he said, look, based on that move, Shlomo became wiser than the sons of Kedem, which is the sons of Lavan. What is that? Chokhmah. How do we know that is connected to Cush, look what was said about Yosef, the father of wisdom. So the wisdom of Shlomo was given where? Gihon, the land of Cush. So what will happen with Shlomo? Even though he will have a big Yetzirah for women, but look how many women Shlomo married before he falls. Because he was protected by that wisdom. So what is actually the real wisdom we are bringing, we are talking about? This is what prevents you of not looking at nakedness. Who get it? Cush. Why? Because the other brothers, they follow about it. That's why Cush is the firstborn. That's why Cush is actually the leader. People say, no, Mitzrayim. I understand. What is the difference between Canaan, Mitzrayim, Put, and Cush? Cush is the one who is connected to the dimension of Yosef. Look at the Cushite woman of Moshe, who gave to Moshe that superiority in the level of wisdom. Look at Shlomo, the king himself. He had to go where? To Cush. So, what is the code for someone who is able to handle nakedness from the action, the eyes, and the thought? His name is Kushi. Or if you want, his name is Ben Yosef. This is what the text is saying to you. Look what he said. He became wiser than the son of Kedem. Ve'en shlita al hachitzonim. And the klipot, all the shell of impurity, they have no power to dominate against him. This is the key. Ki alivana bimlua ad rechavam. It's because when you are at that level of handling your thought, to be Ben Porat Yosef, Ben Porat Alai Ain, to be at that level of action, no problem. Eyes, no problem. Thought, no problem. You are a son of Yosef. How do you get it? Exactly by quoting and seeing from the place where nakedness was forbidden. Who was not caught? Two brothers are caught. One is not caught. Let's take that one. Let's check what's happened. What is so special with nakedness about them? Oh, they're queen. 40 years with Moshe, no nakedness revealed, even if it was permit. Oh, what else? The kings. The kings of Yehuda. You are obliged to go there to have domination in the visible and in the invisible world. This is what is given to you when you are able to handle your thoughts regarding nakedness. Shalom, shalom, Amanit Mercy. Yes.
Shalom, Chief Rabbi. I have a question regarding this, and it might be ignorant. I'm not sure, so I'm going to need your help on helping me decipher this. So I heard when you did your limud on the Cushite woman, and excuse me, that was the first time I heard that Moshe had been with this Cushite widow queen. He didn't touch her for 40 years. And I'm hearing you say it again. And it brought back up what my thoughts were then. So when I first heard it, as a Black woman, I was a little upset by it, because I said, how could you be married to this woman and then never perform the duties that are supposed to be, that's part of the ketubah, right? And now I'm hearing you say it again, excuse me. And my ignorance with it is because it has to be on me. It can't be the text. It can't be you. It has to be on me. So for people to then say, okay, I can marry a black woman. I'm going to get really strong marrying a black woman, not upholding to whatever the ketubah is supposed to say in there regarding taking care of her needs and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it. So it becomes almost like a selfish thing. It's like I want to gain this really high spiritual level at the cost of someone else. So maybe I'm misunderstanding it. Like, does that make sense what I'm saying? And am I misunderstanding it?
No. It makes sense what you're saying. And it's a great occasion for me to explain something very deep regarding the weakness brought based on the Torah, brought by the habits of Canaanim, brought by the habits of Mitzrim, and also brought by the habits of Yehudim. Because Yehuda went to see a prostitute, even if she wasn't really, but he had that mindset to go and find a prostitute and to have a moment. And we have to know that the truth is also today that all the pornography industry is held by Jews. We have to understand what it means. We have to go deeper also to understand that the meaning of yes, Samantha.
I just want to say, Salahi, Chief Rabbi, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I really appreciated Sister Mercy's question. And even in the modern world, we see what seems to be a similar phenomena, where we will see black brothers some black brothers who will, I'll just use Malcolm X as an example. We know that, uh, hmm, let's say when Malcolm X was Detroit Red, when he was unawakened and unenlightened, he was known to have been with white women and having relations with white women and indulging in all kinds of vices. And um, there was one sister that he was with, the black sister that he was with, and he held her to a different standard where it was like he wasn't going to have sex with her. He, held her to a high level of chastity and modesty. With them. Sometimes among some brothers, where they will hold the black woman to a high standard. And if she expresses her sexuality, she's, due to the internalization of those over sexualized stereotypes that were levied against us by the Europeans, if the black woman is owning her sexual power, then she's all these other names. But then there is a certain demographic of black brothers who will gladly be with white women and indulge all kinds of sexual acts, and even revel in it. There's the locker room talk, so to speak, among men where, oh, the white girl, she'll do this and that. And, now I'm not saying all brothers, because I truly believe, and statistics do show that black men do prefer black women. There is, especially in the social media world nowadays, there's this belief that, oh, our men only want to be with white women or exotic women, but that's just not true. Most black men do prefer to be with black women. So I'm not overgeneralizing, but there are some black men who do have that kind of, I'll say, hypocrisy, where they will fantasize about indulging in some extreme sexual vices with white women, but then hold the black woman to a higher standard. Um, and so as Sister Mercy was asking this question, again, I thought about Malcolm X, Detroit Red, and that may not be the direction that Sister Mercy was going into, but just her question triggered that thought. And yes, as a black woman, it is a little, I don't know, a little disappointing, I think, to hear from me, that he was with this beautiful Cushite woman and he wasn't with her for 40 years, I'm not sure if they had children. It sounds like they didn't. But for me, posterity is important. And I enjoy when Black people are together and being fruitful and multiplying. And we do see a lot of interracial relationships, a lot of interracial children being brought into the world. And I really do enjoy the idea of, our Black men having, being fruitful and multiplying with Black women. And so it did kind of make me feel some type of way. So if you could explain a little bit of that, I would appreciate it.
No problem. Yes, Rabbanit Mercy.
See, me and Hadassah are always on the same page. Yes, I did mean that. And I will even take what you said and I'll take it even a little higher. One of the things that, again, as a dark-skinned woman living in America, one of the things, and obviously this story has triggered some things in us, but it's like, she made the comment about, the brothers, it's funny because we'll have these brothers who are pro-Black and pro-this and, the Black man and the Black family and the Black woman, but yet and still they're with white women. And nothing against white women, nothing against them. And my question has always been, well, if you're so this about the whole Blackness thing, first of all, if you have children, your children are both, they're Black and white. So when you're talking about the white man, this, the white man, this, your children are part of that. That's one. Two, how can you then look at a Black woman and then tell her, oh yeah, you need to be a Black man, da da da. But it's this, like Hadassah said, it's this not only the stereotype, but it's this hypocrisy of wanting to uphold and lift up the Black, I'll just say the Black. And then at home, you're not living yourself to that own standard. So to hear that Moshe was with this Black woman and did nothing with her. I mean, to me, and again, it could be just my ignorance, I don't know, but to me, it's a direct slap in the face to Black women. It's like, again, I can use your back because Black women have always been used by Black men, by white men, by white women. We have always been used and abused. So to then say, okay, I'm going to reach my spiritual pinnacle and bye, Black lady. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what is she getting from this? I don't see the, I'm trying to think of the word. I don't see the benefit. I don't see the benefit. So again, I humbly say, I could be ignorant and not seeing what you're seeing. Clearly, I may not be. So yes, like Hadassah said, please explain that because I'm trying to grasp it myself.
It's like this. First thing is that in the analysis you are bringing up, sexuality is used like a tool of pleasure. What the topic is dealing here with,
White women always been used.
the topic is what the topic is dealing here with. It's about another level of interaction between a man and a woman. Before I go on the topic you brought up, I will just give the zchuts to Moshe. Why Moshe didn't perform what we may say the task, the natural duty between the husband and the wife? Because if he did that, the king of Cush, King Kos, who gave his sword to the first knight to his queen, will not be able to stay instead of her and to get the benefit of all these actions in this world. We learn it from the rules about not marrying widows when you know that the widow was married to a great sage. Because when you married and you go to perform the first night, you have to remove the soul of the previous husband and to disconnect that soul from something which is fruitful for him by being still alive in this world through his wife, because you give one part of your soul. So the consideration of Moshe for the king Kinkos, who take him when he was 20, when he was 27, running away from the Egyptians, from his own cousins, taking him, making him a place, giving him time and place to become a wise advisor, to enter the army. This man was like a father for Moshe. So now there's a question. If Moshe had the mindset of saying, okay, I want to perform the mitzvah. I want to be like a husband and a woman to that queen. Even though some sages were said like this, they said that yes, Moshe was taught that it was forbidden to have descendants, to have kids with the with the people you will conquest. No, it's not the point. The point is that when you marry a widow, you have to be you have to know what you will do to the soul of the previous husband. This is the first part. Now going to our normal word about what you are talking about. I would say there's always,
Sorry, Rabbi, I have a question.
it's connected or it's not another question?
It's somehow connected.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Should that be the reason why the wife of Uriah, the son that the wife of Uriah gave to David, have to die?
One more time?
I mean, the what you're explaining, should that be the reason why the son that the wife of David that he took from his chief officer in the army,
Yeah,
should
yeah.
that be the reason why the son have to die?
Yeah, because it was very hard for them to have a kid, to Bathsheba and David, because the way it's happened is not the way. The soul of Uriah was a very, very high soul. So this is, let's say, this is the top. This is, let's come to our level. So to our level, it's the best way to understand something is to try to see it in the different shades. What, for example, you're talking about, I didn't knew personally about that reality in America. Because in Africa, we don't have that problem. We have black people, black wife, black woman. It's normal. And in many cases, let's say it's even the opposite. The body of the black woman, sorry for the word, is used. And people praise the white woman, they don't touch her. So it's opposite. So I would say like this. Every single area comes with its own challenges, its own struggle. We have to know to use our Torah to give the righteous way, the way of truth, the way of being balanced. Because what you are facing in the United States, it's actually the opposite in Africa. In Africa, black women will tell you, please, try not to touch me. If you go to Congo, for example, you know how many young ladies of 14, 15 you will see already with 2 kids, 3 kids. No limitation. No respect for that body. No respect for that holiness that she carry in his body. Big problems in our society. And it's the same in Cameroon, the same in Nigeria. So what's happened in the situation where we are under colonization and that our mind have been brainwashed, that we think that our tradition is so different, so low, so bad that we have just to become Christian and to say that the Savior is here and he saved everything and our ancestors, they were dumb. All this structure, all that frame brought black people from Africa to show no respect some of the time, many of the time to the black woman. The way they bring second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th wives, but asking nothing. You have time to ask. You don't ask. Can be imposed. This is the reality. But when you are now in the configuration of arriving as a slave, fighting to get the freedom, and achieving a level of self-made man, I do my money. Configuration are the same. Because in that situation, you have a deeper consciousness of what you are, the value of what you are. And that value brings you to put yourself at the same level as the one who enslaved you before. So in that case, the black man in that situation will try to have that behavior of tasting the forbidden fruit. Not that fruit who used to beat you because you were a slave, now you can have it in your bed. So what do you want to do? You want to play like the bad guy who's gonna destroy. I said it because as a rabbi, we hear and we face a lot of situations. Many of my students from US, I will not quote anyone, let's say from past year, I've no, because I'm very thrilled with my students. Many of them, they say, yes, look, we use sex as a revenge. I want to show that now we're the boss. I don't say that's the case of everybody. I just say that among, let's say, 10 students, at least 4 or 5 have told me about things like that. Using sexuality as a tool to punish back the one who thought that it was higher. And they say, I will give to you a black baby and you will see what it is to have a black baby. This is the mindset. I'm not saying that this is Malcolm X position. I'm saying what's at the level of the people in daily life. For sure, some people are admiring that white woman. Okay, they have the right. But many of them are using that as a punishment to the ones who will say, look, we get your wife, your daughters. And they will be brought very strange things to be used like sexual tools. But they have no problem. For them, it's like it's a part of revenge. Yes, somebody said that.
I'm glad you said that, Chief Rabbi, and I've heard some similar things as well from some of the brothers. But what's really sad about that to me is I think these brothers don't realize it's not a revenge and it actually backfires. Because at the end of the day, when you are weaponizing your sexuality, thinking that you just beating it up and dominating them, you're actually fueling their depravity. This is why you have white women all over the world, European women going to the Caribbean, going to countries in Africa and making sex slaves of these black men. And these black men may think that they're winning, but they're actually being degraded even more. And most unfortunate, these children, these black children that these white mothers are left with, are abused deplorably. I know a brother, he's mixed, he's interracial, and he said his white mother called him a nigger every day of his life. They don't realize you're not getting revenge. You're actually bringing more curses upon your own seed. They don't care. They don't care. So it's sad that brothers have that mentality because it's actually not true. You're actually reinforcing those very stereotypes that they had, especially on the Black man to begin with. You're not helping it. You're not reversing anything. That's what they want. They want to be degraded. They want the Black, the BBC, as they call it in pornography language. They want that. They want to, that's their fantasy anyway. Oh, he's going to be rough and violent, and oh, it's so, I can't say certain things out of politeness, but that's the fantasy they want. So you're actually pleasing them. You're actually reinforcing the stereotype. And so, I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about this, but it is sad to hear that it's not a revenge. And I wish the brothers would see that.
No, you're right to say that because you cannot get anything positive out of revenge. That's why we try to explain to people in this limud that there's a quality of being able to handle yourself face to nakedness. And when we quote that, it's not to say that what Moshe did, it's what people have to perform. No, we took the example of Moshe here and before to show where he made a difference from himself, for himself. Tzipporah was not a Caucasian. Tzipporah was from Midian, and we know that Midian of that area is not what we think now about Middle East. So the question is not about, when we talk about Moshe, the question is not about we telling people that the Black woman cannot have pleasure. No, Chas v'shalom. We are not at that level at all. We are bringing things at another level, based on something I've said once on the Limud of Chanukah, that we have 3 levels of connection in the couple. The lower one, Yud Ke Vav Ke Adonai, physical. The middle one, Yud Ke Vav Ke Elohim, more build, more like, okay, we have other project than just being together in the bed. Sorry for my language. And the third one, it's even not a normal way to live according to this word. That cannot even be applied to Rabbi Akiva, who spent 24 years far away from his wife. It not said that she was a Cushite. That just said that there's a level for the one who are at that level when you are so aware about the fact, sorry for the term, that having relationship will bring to you a kind of impurity that cannot give you access easily to higher word. Upper world. That's why that people at that level, they have big hesitation to know what will happen to me, because if I have that, and I need to go to the mikveh. That's why you have to know. Any husband having a moment with his wife, the next day you have to go to the mikveh before to go to Bet Knesset. So there's something here, not Chas v'shalom to criticize women, to say anything negative against her. Just something which is known in the daily life of the one who want to be called Talmidei Chachamim. So at that level of Moshe, no matter if it was the Cushite woman, no matter if what it is, it will be Moshe, please understand that now I need you full time. The same the same demand was made for Moshe when he was married to Tzipporah. That's what will bring Tzipporah to complain to Miriam. Hashem said, Moshe, we have so much to do. I cannot wait you to have your moment and after to go to the mikveh. I need you 24/7. That's why I say, okay, Tzipporah, divorce you. But the difference is, you can divorce Tzipporah. It can be worthy for you or for her. But you cannot divorce the Cushite woman. Why? Because his presence gives to you access to the wisdom. It doesn't mean that at that level, I'm not looking for the basic, for the masses, at that level, it doesn't mean that she will suffer from that situation. only her, at that level, has the power not to suffer from that situation. I can give you an example from the rabbinical aspect. When I exchange with Jews, you see that it can become a problem. When you see people say, ah, look, for 3 months, me and my wife didn't have a moment. 4 months, 5 months, okay. So you try to give advice. Since we have the ideas program, and especially in the French department, so I'm dealing with many people, really many people. And when it comes about that question, I'm so surprised. People telling me, oh, Rabbi, you see, now it's 7 years. 7 years what? Of what? 7 years that my wife, she doesn't want anything from me. 7 years? So yes. That's, oh. So you see, there's something not balanced here. In the Jewish world, 3 months is too much. People can kill. People can divorce. And you see other people who even barely knew about Bantu Israelite before 2 years, 2 months, sorry. You talk with them, they expose to you their life, what they are facing. You hear 3 years, 4 years. Someone told me yesterday, someone told me, Rabbi, it's my 4th year, I didn't touch my wife. I say, how come if she's like that, she doesn't want, like, what do I do? I don't do anything. I'm not saying that this is the example. I'm just saying that you have a different connection to what we call pleasure when you are connected to the spirituality of the Kushite land. It's very, very strange because you will see that at the daily basis, people don't have access to internet. They don't have access to pornography like people have access in other countries, other areas. It's a different world. People, they don't promote pleasure. You don't see that in the behavior. Many things are secrets when it comes to that area. You can even not talk about that type of topic when your parents are in the area. It's a very different mindset. So it's not a shame. All the purpose is to know that every area has its own struggle. But yes, you're right. All the brothers think that there's a way to behave with the white woman, another way to behave with the African American woman. They just misunderstand it at all. They have to be taught again about what is to be a husband for someone. And based on that, we use this example not to talk about daily basis, talk about how to achieve the elites, the top, the crown that will allow us to be able to bring down that soul of Mashiach. And if that soul of Mashiach is connected to yourself, we have that possibility to do it by doing something, to be able not to reveal nakedness, not in the action, let's say forbidden nakedness, not in the actions, not in the eyes, and not in the thought. This is the point. But what you have said, you're right. Yes, I need mercy.
Thanks, Chief Rabbi. First of all, I just want to say thank you for your response. I thank you for, most importantly, for your patience and the wisdom at which you address these very, very personal for us as a people, these very sensitive topics, because no one else is doing that. And I really, really appreciate that. There was a rabbi I had a while ago, and one of the things he said was, when you're looking for a rabbi, you have to find someone. It's a two-way street. Yeah, he's kind of sussing you out a little bit, but you have to see how that rabbi handles you as well. And I think people forget that, and because you could have come at this at a completely different approach, but you didn't. And I really appreciate the fact that you even You respectfully and humbly, even, dare I say, addressed a situation that most people, again, will not talk about. And I appreciate that because it also diffuses people, whatever their thing is, it diffuses that situation. And I really appreciate that immensely. And my last thing I want to say is, a lot of people think when they look at Black women, whatever continent they're on, and they look at Black women, this caricature of a Black woman, which is she's so super strong and she can do whatever she wants to do and all this other stuff. And that is a lie. And it's a lie in this regard. We are strong because we've had to be, because we've been left in the dust for so long that we've had to. So when people say, especially American Black women, oh, they got that attitude, blah, 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 blah. No, 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 no. We've had to survive on our own for so long, and this is the only way that we could. But we are extremely vulnerable. We cry, we hurt, we want affection, we want to speak to someone, we want someone to speak to us, we want to have conversation. We are human and we are spiritual beings, and we're not this poster child for either the gay man to emulate or for anybody from any other race to emulate. We are broken just like anybody else, and all we want to do is be healed and grow and mature and reach that status in Hashem's eyes as our minds are being open to Hashem. So I just wanted to say that. And I just wanted to say again, I appreciate you, Chief Rabbi. How about I say that? And I'll just leave it there.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Mercy. It's you are so right when you take the speech and you bring that questions. We have to understand that if Torah is ours, Torah have to give answers to the situation we are facing. And for sure, we have to learn a lot about the dynamic of each communities in each area, in each country. For sure, United States, the story is tremendous. It's huge, it's wild, and you have different situations happening. And for sure, it's not easy to find a middle way to interpret things. So my advice would be like this. We should never, never, never forget that we have to address the Torah, not only for the Bantu Israelites, but to have to give a whole Torah for the African-American woman. Why? Because, like you said, for me, you need to possess all your strength. For sure, you have emotions, you have human beings, but each individual possess specific characteristic. And what I hope is that with the limudim we are doing on Sunday, and we will go on that path because I thought about it, that we should study that the laws of women from the Ben Ish Chai, and to be able to see how we can address this message to the women of our generation in the community and also to the men of our generation, because this is the key of many things that should happen in the next generation. So, for example, just to finish, people were talking about Mashiach coming, with Gaza being taken and so on. What's happened tonight in Europe? We saw the ceasefire being signed. So what's happened with Mashiach? Other people were saying already, okay, settlement. It's all the things we are saying. Mashiach will not come till we will not fix the story of the Black woman, I'm telling you. If we talk about the Bantu Israelite, the crown will be the Black woman. So Toda Rabba. So just to conclude, it's like this. Toda Rabba. When we understand what's happened with the position of Yosef, being able to handle the 3 levels of not letting nakedness destroy his soul, body or his eyes. So like this. והנה נודע דמרת עיניים נאסר בעבירה של ניאוף יותר. Say, look, you see the eyes. We know that eyes are under the domination of the brain. And that brain basically creates the illusion where we are. That illusion that brings us to think that this is the man I'm talking to. No, this is the envelope. This is the body of the soul that I'm talking to. This is not me. This is the envelope that I'm in. And all these things even doesn't exist. It's an illusion that becomes so strong that I call it reality. The sage said, no, look, the real level for you is to know that real reality, it's when you will be asleep and going up in the real life. And when you will be waking in the morning, know that this is the beginning of the illusion. That's why the sage, when Mashiach will come, you will see that you will be awake from your dream. How do I know that this real life is a dream? Because in the same day, I can do two things opposite, exactly like in a dream. I can do that and do that. There's no connection. I do two things. So it's still like this. He said, when you understand that the level of eyes is the second one among the three, you have to know that, you know, this hidden light organus that we say that it's reserved to the tzaddikim. You know that capacity of knowing, not being blown away by this fake reality. That capacity of being able to use your eyes, your view to understand, thanks to your wisdom, what's going on in that place just by looking at specific spot and point on someone's face and someone's environment. This can be damaged very seriously when you expose your eyes to nakedness. Meaning, the more you damage your eyes by looking at forbidden images, forbidden situation, when you reveal that nakedness, you have to know that you bring your eyes to be so far away from what is the top level of your skills, being able to be here and to see different dimension, being able to be here and to walk and to see what every eyes will not see the same way, to analyze what will be given to you, to it will be given in front of you. So the purpose is here to know that be careful about not letting your eyes see things that are connected to adultery, that are connected to nakedness, that are connected to lust. Be careful. You see, this is the thing that damage the more the eyes, seeing naked. Ad she Kashfu Chazal, till the sage will say, in the Talmud, Marat Enaim Meisha Zara Kegufa Shel Erva. You see, look, the sage in the Talmud Yoma, he said, when you look at a woman who is not your wife, this is exactly as revealing the nakedness, looking at with specific desire. It's the same. It is the same. And this is damaging us more than the others. Why? Because the dimension of we being saved is the dimension we call Kush. Because Egypt and Canaan had that behavior. But the dimension of Kush, where the kings are anointed, where the wisdom is given, based on what? On the fact of being dominant in the eyes and dominant in the thoughts, the machshava. It said, look, if you, Bantu Israelite, you are trapped in looking around you, know that more than the other, you are the image. Why? Because you are connected to Kush. So meaning when you see the spiritual code of, let's say, a Bantu Israelite, black man, handling himself, being able to handle actions, eyes, thought, and to be away from that transgression about women, you will know that the code for him is to be called Kush. It's the Kush. It's the Kushit. And he said, ולכן גם המחשבה בניאוף מחזקת הרבה יותר משאר העבירות, והחמרו בה יותר. So you see, all the type of sins, all the type of transgression, you have to know that thinking so much about sexuality, imagine situation with people who are not permit in your situation. There is nothing worse when it comes about damaging your soul, damaging yourself. That's why Ben Israel said it, בעזרת השם, באמת דמאמר רבינו ז"ל, שאמר בגמרא, מסכת שבת, כל מקום שאסרו חכמים מפני מאירת עיניים, אפילו בחדרי חדרים אסור. רוצה לומר, כל מקום שאסרו לך להסתכל בו בעיניך בדבר ערווה, אז אפילו בחדרי חדרים אסור. רוצה לומר, גם במחשבה שהיו בחדרי חדרים. look, we have this says in the Talmud Shabbat, everything which is forbidden for you to put in front of your eyes, you have to know that it's also connected to the rooms of rooms. What is the rooms of rooms? It says it's the code to talk about the thoughts. The thoughts in the language of the sage, we called it Chedre Chadarim, the rooms of rooms. And say, look, when something is forbidden to your eyes, not that it's automatically forbidden to your thought. Because this is higher than your eyes. She'i bamoa, because it is in the brain. Bechadre chadarim, the rooms of rooms. Shebarosh adam, which is in the head of the man. Asur lachshav gam bedavar eva. That's why it will be forbidden for you to think about nakedness at that level. So now, what can you do? What can you do to be able to give to yourself a chance to be strong at the level of action, at the level of eyes, the level of thought, not to fall in the nakedness, in revealing nakedness? What can you do to give to yourself strength and power to activate the higher level of your eyes, to be able to see where people cannot see, to sense basically where people cannot sense? What do you need to do to be able to achieve that level of wisdom, that wisdom that will make you so protected that even in front of the biggest temptation, you will be able to see it from far and to resist? What will bring you to activate what we call in our codes the Koshite dimension of your soul, which is in the back of the wisdom, like we saw it about the Koshite woman? What do you need to do to create that frame of work that will be so protective for you and that will connect to you, to yourself at Tzaddik and to the Gichon? You need to be careful not to wash clothes or to fold clothes or to do any laundry on Shabbat. This is the purpose of you being taught all these laws of what are you allowed to do with your clothes on Shabbat. Can I wash your clothes? Can I wash something? How do you say this in English?
I think it's to
Bring it.
tour.
To
You're reading out the order.
Rig.
rig. How can you do? Why?
To rig.
To rig. Why? Why are we not allowed to do that on the Shabbat day? Why am I not allowed to iron? Let's say it's something easy to be obvious, but you have to have answers. Why are we not allowed to, for example, on Shabbat, if I take my talit, let's say, I finish my prayer, and when I finish, I'm not allowed to fold it. I have to take it and to put like that. That's it. Why all these things? So why, if I fold it, do I disrespect God? People will tell you that. What the connection? I can't fold it. Here is, I fold it. Oh, what's wrong? You know people when they are, how they are, when they want to be not aggressive, but to show to you that they have no fear. Now it's like this. This will damage your capacity of staying strong in front of nakedness. Why? Because clothing is called or makif, surrounding light. And the surrounding light, this is what keeps you away from sinning and falling in nakedness. Not only that, that clothing, they are connected to your eyes and to your brain from different way that we'll see another time. But know that this is the secret behind the laws of Schitat Bgadim, les vouches qui foulent et qui vous, meaning you rag, you dry them, you fold them, or you wash them. Don't do that. If you want to reveal the Yosef dimension of your soul, which is actually the Kushite dimension. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Amen. Is there any question?
Amen. Amen. Toda Rabba Rabbeinu. Toda Rabba.
תודה רבה,
תודה
טויבה,
רבה
תודה.
רבנו.
תודה רבה, תודה רבה,
תודה
רבנו, תודה
רבה
רבה.
רבינו. תודה רבה.
תודה רבה, בעזרת השם. Take your time, think about it. Tomorrow we have the French Limud, so we will go in another place, but you have at least the French speakers, you have at least the direction, but we will bring other topics. So תודה רבה. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. Rabbanit Hadassah, I have to applause. I think you are finished, right?
A few more minutes, waiting for official nightfall. Yes.
So we, like I say every time when we are in the French Limud, I always say it because we are in the momentum of what we call Shovavim, for example. What is Shovavim? It's a time when basically the Bnei Israel, were used to fast in order to fix the soul and especially according against the sins of sexuality, for example. So Shovavim meaning to be when you are stubborn, a stubborn son, Shovav. But Shovavim, it's also the first letters of the 6 parashot coming, meaning Shmot, Vayera, Bo, Beshalach, Yitro, Mishpatim. These are the 6 weeks where people try to perform some fasting. The Mekubalim, they even add Tat, Shovavim Tat, meaning Teruma Tetzaveh. So what's happened? we have Baruch Hashem, this last week's women from the French department or the English department performing a level of fasting that I didn't say I never seen the last years. So Abani Tadasa just is finishing 3 day. So I want to say to her that we are very proud of the braveness, of the courage, of the determination, and the craving of spirituality that she has, because you cannot do that if you are discovering spirituality from distance. She did the sheleg. I just want to remind you that it was so fired inside of her that she find a way to feed the baby she breastfeed just in order just to do that tikkun. And you see she's alive. So I will just want her to say some words about what she went through, just to let you know how real is the language of our sages. Can you speak a bit, or is it
Yes, Chief Rabbi, I can say a little bit. I'm still processing a lot myself. And that's why for me, timing is everything. And it was really important for me to do it. I just couldn't wait, especially with this being Shovavim, the start of Shovavim. And we know that the parshat for this week is Shemot. And so I wanted to do it. I actually started on my mother's birthday. She's passed away, but it was her birthday on Sunday, January 12th. So that evening I started, and it was important for me to think of the example that she gave me, with her elegance and her poise and determination and her deep spirituality, and just for teaching me so many things to make me the woman I am today. And so I just felt it was divine timing. And like you said, I was just so determined. I couldn't wait, of 5 months or so for the
I
baby to
can tell you,
stop
that
breastfeeding.
you sent me so much messages to push me to say, okay, let's go. But go ahead, go ahead.
Yes, so I, just found a way to make her different supplements, and different foods to make up for the nourishment that, would be diminished from my fasting. And I just to encourage those who may be thinking about this very deep endeavor, it as we spoke in Sunday's Limud, it is like childbirth, not having birthed 5 children myself, completely unmedicated and unassisted at home, um, by myself. It's a very intimate experience with Hashem each time, and you are really at the threshold of life and death. And each time you feel that you can't expand anymore and you can't really fathom or comprehend what's on the other side of that. And so this tikkun, this fasting, was the same. And in many ways, physically, it literally was the same. There was a point where I also, because even though I was supplementing the baby, I still was breastfeeding because, she still likes to do that for comfort. And science actually proves that a woman who is breastfeeding, she is losing so many calories. It is literally like an Olympic athlete. You can look this up. And it's actually more calories and more energy for a woman breastfeeding throughout the day than even during the pregnancy and childbirth. So there was a point where I was like, oh my gosh, am I pushing myself too hard? And am I doing too much, because I was still breastfeeding and expending even more energy. But I will say with the Tikkun Shaleg, without saying too much publicly, I actually felt more energized. The fasting, I could feel the flesh dying, and that's what I really cherish, the idea of, you know, um, as a sacrifice. Even in the Siddur, when you're fasting, there's a prayer in the Siddur that says, may this fast be accepted, as if it was an offering on the altar. The fat and the blood that is diminished is like a sacrifice on the altar. And so I appreciated that. But when I got into the ice, it actually reinvigorated me. And I was like, wow, I actually felt more energy. So I felt like this electricity through my body. I actually felt more energy. My head didn't hurt anymore, my stomach didn't hurt anymore. And I think for most people the ice would be the scariest part, but that actually was so energizing. And I was not expecting that. And it was a very profound experience. Of course, a lot of it is very intimate and personal, so I won't say too much. But after getting out, and I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, any men have experienced this, but as a woman, I found it very interesting that I actually felt like I was giving birth. The lower part of my body was very, I guess you would say, activated, and it was very much like literally being in labor. And I found that also very surprising and very interesting. And it was very profound for me. But again, I will say the part that might be the scariest for most people, you will live, you will make it through, and it's a very beautiful experience, a very personal and intimate experience with Hashem, and just really receiving that impartation of light is very special. And again, with this being the perfect timing, this is the week of the Parashat Shemot. This is the season of Shovavim, the 6 or 8 weeks of Shovavim. So for me, I couldn't resist. I couldn't wait. I really wanted to make this great tikkun, especially for I know what I was praying to be purified of and what my teshuvah was for the things that have happened in my life. And yeah, a very beautiful experience. Yes. Toda Rabah. Baruch Hashem.
In your voice we can sense that you went through something intense. I will talk to you in private. Maybe I will not be able to call you because it's late here, but tomorrow, maybe at 2 p.m. of my time, I will be able to call you. But just to say, you have, first of all, keep in mind, before you eat anything, wash your hands, do netila before eating and drinking something. Drink a lot of water the next 10 days. Know that with that tikkun, no one is allowed to surround you, because the light you brought down is the light of Ein Sof. And that light is too high, too holy to be surrounded. But you did something particular. Your voice is not your voice. There's someone inside. I don't know. I think you connect with someone very deeply, and that tzaddiket or that tzaddik is your prayers have been accepted, because I can hear in your voice it's not you're talking. But I will send you vocal notes. We will take by vocal notes. Bezrat Hashem. With kol hakavod, kol hakavod, kol hakavod. Very proud of you. And the next 40 days, just be careful about anger, arrogancy, talking too much shit. Try to keep it up. Bezrat Hashem. Chazak Baruch.
Baruch Hashem. Toda Rabah, Chief Rabbi.
You're welcome. תודה רבה לרבנים צדיקים, שבת שלום, and see you next week. תודה רבה, רבי אקוושוקו, תודה רבה, רבי ארי, תודה רבה.
תודה רבה רבינו.
תודה רבה, רבנית קטרין, תודה רבה, רבי מנטיטיוס, תודה רבה. רבנית הדסה, הדרה חווה. תודה רבה, רבי שמעון, תודה רבה, רבי ישראל, ויקטור, תודה רבה, צ'יף חביי. Kish, תודה רבה, רבנית מרסי. I think you have you gotta call your sister. תודה רבה, רבנית נטליה. תודה רבה, צ'יף חביי, ישי משה. תודה רבה, רבנית שלווה, Rabbi Ishmael, and Toda Rabba, Rabbi Yochanan, and also thank you to all the people on YouTube. Sorry, I don't interact with you, but because I'm in front of Zoom. But Toda Rabba to Rabbi Zuko, Toda Rabba to Venice Craig, and I just want to answer to a question to Rabbi Zuko, Shalom Rabbi, Shalom Likulam, Rabbi. I think the Instagram and Facebook reels may not be for all people. We should learn to live, without things. Should a tzaddik have a gym membership? We have to be careful not to put everybody on the same bag. We have to know that people have different skills, and at the same time, they have to be aware. So yes, the best is to be able to handle everything you got, which will be in front of your eyes. If you don't know what come next, it's better to be careful. And yes, we can teach people, but we have also to give to them space and time to build it slowly, because if they go too fast, tomorrow they're gonna do worse when they will be tired with all the restrictions. And last question is, so Rabbi, then how did Kushi become a derogatory term in Israel for black Jews? Exactly like King Kong was used as sort of a King Congo, exactly like the name of Ensof in Kikongo, which is Nzambi, became Zombai, you know, the people who are the living dead. So we have to know that everything which is serious and real is always used as a derogatory term to put faraway people who may find out their root, their identity, and the truth, to go back to what was the heritage of our ancestors. Is it just ignorance of Torah of our non-religious brother? Yes, totally. We don't study enough. And the truth is, the poor, where will you find people teaching you about Kush? Good luck. We have to admit that's not easy. We are lucky because we are family and we can share that information. But even sometimes when the information is for you, people will not tell you that it's connected to your ancestors or to your situation or to your spirituality. תודה רבה, Rabbi Zuko. Shabbat Shalom Mevorach to all of you. Bye-bye.
Shabbat Shalom Mevorach.
Shabbat Shalom. Bye-bye. Bye.
Mashallah.